Yo, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to the shop, dude. Here's the stuff we made last night. We made this cool little box. This little paperweight out of a scrap. And this little box. For tonight's show, I'm trying out something different. Something I haven't done before. I got another design here. And we're going to try this one out. Where it's going to be, there's going to be a top box. The top opens up and then two drawers coming out. We're going to make that out of this big piece of walnut right here. We glued it up yesterday. So let's see what we can do. Whoa. It is Wednesday night, December 17th. Chilling in the shop after work. Doing the thing, dude. Just doing it to it. So, I'm thinking that this one's a good candidate for the new design. Where there'll be a drawer here. Maybe it's not big enough to do two drawers. So this is here. Okay, so if we do yeah, I'm thinking we need a bigger piece to do two drawers and a little top dish type box. Unless we did two smaller drawers. Maybe if we did two smaller drawers, then we could do the little top dish piece. I'll just erase that real quick. So if we did like smaller, wider drawers, all right. That could work. So drawer, those could even be a tiny bit bigger. Maybe that's one drawer, smaller drawer. And then this top piece, can be a box like that. I'm thinking. I was brainstorming this with my friend earlier. I think it could work. Also, we have some other stuff we glued up yesterday. This is a super, this one has a really nice to it. Kind of just going to go over sort of the plan before we get into it, guys. So this one will be its own little box, but it has some fantastic grain, dude. Look at that. Just incredible. So there's that one. There's this one which will have a, I'm thinking it's going to be a lower drawer, this drawer, and then this top will be a box that has a lid on top. That's kind of what I'm hoping for that. Oh, dude, and shout out to my friend Jared, who saw this stream and saw me saying I need more clamps. And so he gave me these little clamps for Christmas, dude. They're perfect. So thank you, Jared. These are dope. I'll put them to use tonight, probably. Welcome everybody that's joining. This is the nightly shop stream. Oh, and then we have these little blocks that we glued up. Some cool little gift boxes, dude. So if we have time, there's 4 designs we can make here, but I'm going to try to take my time getting this one because I haven't done a design like that before. And I want to make sure that I don't screw it up so bad that it's not usable. I don't care if I screw it up and I can fix it, but I don't want to like ruin it. Because that's a big chunk of walnut. It cost a couple bucks. So yeah, so this will be another box with a killer front. Of course, this magnificent piece here. This one here has a nice little swirly. And then the beefy one. Oh yeah, and then Jared also gave me these little files too. It's from when he was over here the other day and he needed a little file and I didn't have one. So thanks bro. Appreciate it. Those are going in the drawer with the chisels. So let's get these blocks out of the way for now. Because I'd like to get after this thing. I need to first figure out where I intended the front. That was going to be the front. And I'm going to take this to the chop saw real quick, guys. And kind of get it squared up a little better, man. Welcome, everybody. I see there's 20 people in here, dude. Welcome to the shop. Tonight we're going to make some boxes. We're going to try a new design. Here's kind of the idea. There'll be 2 drawers and then a top box with a lid on top. Going to take our time with that one. All right, we got the sides flat, or the bottom and the top flat. So now we're gonna get, 1 second. All right, there it is, guys. We got our big old chunk here. There's the front. So let's draw our thing, dude. So if this is here. I think I could actually do this on the chop saw and not have to worry about the bandsaw, dude. Be right back. I'm going to do this cut on the bandsaw. I'm going to switch you guys to bandsaw view. Welcome, everybody. Okay, I was going to cut the back off of this in one piece, but I guess I don't have to. It can just be a lot of gluing, so. Alright, so here's what we got, guys. Oh, let me fix this. You guys fell over, kind of. So here's what we got. This one's going to have a drawer cut in like this. This one's going to have a drawer cut in like this. This one's going to have a lid on the top. And then they'll all be glued back together into one piece. So I'm going to cut the back off this. And this. Okay. Now I'm going to cut the drawer out of this. Okay, we got the drawer cut out of that. Now we're going to cut the front and the back off the drawer. Just marking it. Okay, now I'm going to cut the inside of the drawer out.
So now I have to cut the drawer out of the middle piece, and it's got to come from above, so it's going to come like this. Okay, now I'm going to cut the front and the back off the middle drawer. Now I'm going to cut out the inside of the middle drawer. Harry, what's up? How you doing, sir? I'm gonna good to see you. Tonight's plan is I'm gonna make a box that's got 2 drawers, and then it'll have a box on top that has a lid you can pick up. So that's kind of the plan for tonight with this one. I'll show you where I'm at. I'll show you where I'm at here. That's all too hard. Anyway, I'll move the thing. So yeah. So here, this will be the bottom drawer. This will be that middle drawer. And then this one we're gonna do, this one will just have the top comes off. I think I should seal this before we start messing around. All right, so this is going to be the top box. So we have to cut off the top. And the bottom. Do we have to cut out the bottom, dude? Cut off the top. Yeah, we do. So we cut off the top and the bottom of this one. Yo, send me a photo of those, Harry. Welcome everybody to the channel. We're gonna make a pretty cool box tonight, dudes. Stay tuned. Oh, and then we have to cut a little cookie out of this one. Oh, nice. So I got to cut a tiny slice off of this to sit inside. And I'm going to use a clamp for that. I am definitely going to use a clamp for that, so it doesn't get ripped out of my hand. I'm going to move you guys back over here to the table. Sorry guys, had a little bit of a delay there. That's how it goes sometimes with that stain. I have that pre-stain too. But that, for me, that pre-stain, sometimes I just flat out forget to put it on there. Okay, so now we have to figure out how to glue all this back together, and luckily I marked everything. Set that over there. That's the bottom. That's the mid. No. This is the lower. That's the mid. That's the mid. See, good thing I marked it all. Okay. This all goes with this. And we have to glue this kerf back together. Guys, I need just a couple of minutes. I got to go check on my dog. Something's going on there. But first I have to glue this, actually. Let that medium get up in there. Go. Let's try these new clamps we got from Jared, dude. Thank you, Jared. Doing it. Hey, Kevin. You guys will be pleased to find out that Jared
donated a couple clamps to the shop today, dude, for Christmas. So that was really, really super nice of them. You guys might remember Jared. He was in here. A few nights ago. He made his first bandsaw box in here, and he did pretty good. Guys, I'll be back in just like 2 minutes. I just gotta check on my dog real quick. So sorry. I'll be right back. Probably a tree frog or something. Or maybe he tried to bite a toad and it released that bufotoxin and it gave him that. Like, he'll try to eat the toads, and toads have like, it's called bufotoxin that like makes dogs foam at the mouth. Yeah, it's just lesson learned for him. Maybe put some water for him outside and let him just be outside till they get sorted out. Yeah. So I've been trying to tell him. Stupid dog. So I think my dog tried to eat a toad. That's what's going on with him. It's not it's not the brightest thing in the world, dude. Man. So that's gonna go like that. Oh, this is the lid, dude. That's sick. That is nice. That's the box. Okay, so we're going to get this down here. You find a little something to prop it up with. I'm not sure, man. I know it's like a 1 horsepower. It's just a 1 horsepower 14-inch Bauer bandsaw. That blade is a 1/4-inch 6 TPI. If that helps, dude. Sometimes they just cut a little slow. I'm not sure. Mine's just like literally the really cheap, like the cheapest bandsaw you could buy new is what I have, because I don't have a whole lot of dough, man. Dude, I need a wedge for in here. Okay. So I'm going to glue this in here. Does it go like that? Yes. Okay. Squish it down. I would have to look it up, Harry. I don't know off the top of my head. Some stuff, dude, I don't know what's going on. Sometimes it cuts right through, but Sometimes it struggles. I had some walnut it was struggling on. I know that when I went to cut the madrone burl, when it was a big chunk on there, it seized up and I snagged my blade and broke it. This is going to be a pretty sweet box, I think, guys. Put a little bit of force on this guy. Not a lot, just a little. Did you get that that Timberwolf blade come in yet? Or are they still in the mail? Okay, that's not correct. That's correct. Welcome everybody. Tonight we're going to make a bandsaw box that has 2 drawers and then a lid on top with another little chamber up top. So we'll see how it goes. Yeah, let's get some clamp action on this guy too. Yo, these are good clamps, Jared. Thanks, dude. If you're tuning in, I appreciate these, bud. Big time. I'm just spraying activator on the stuff that's poking its head out there. Good news, guys. When I started the stream tonight, we were at 388 subscribers, so we are 112 away from the first goal of 500, which is pretty amazing. So if you're tuning in, you haven't subscribed yet, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. We're almost at our first goal. You know what, dude? Activate it, we'll sand it off. as the back of our bottom drawer. Let's assemble that middle, dude. It's gonna be a cool one, dudes. I hear you, Harry. Send me the link on Facebook. I'll watch your channel, dude. You do want to, like, if you're trying to grow, you want to be consistent. I mean, you don't have to do it every night like I've been doing, but you know, getting like one a weekend on the either a live or a long form or both. Maybe a couple shorts per week goes a long way. Yeah, I'll watch your channel, bro. I didn't know you had one. All right, we got the mid drawer sorted. Fuck, I love this CA glue with the Activate, dude. It is my new favorite thing up in here. Wait a minute, bud. What about just setting up your camera and just filming you making your just filming yourself making your orders or whatever? Yeah, you did that show. I hope you got some footage of that show you could work into a video. That'd be good too, bud. All right, well, we got the drawers all sorted. Let's get the top sorted. And then we can, oh, I don't know if you were here when I showed this piece, but look at the grain on this one. That's gonna look super crazy wild. Oh, nice, man. Thank you. I'll check those out when this is over. In case anybody missed this beautiful piece of walnut right here. Incredible. Where was I? Dude, I get distracted when I start looking at the wood. You know? I'm going to sand this real quick, guys, right here. Yeah, that's wild, man. There we go. Grab some clamps. Actually, you know what? We can get these. We can free up some of these clamps here. Yamo, what's up? You looking at this one? You looking at this crazy one? That is some wild walnut grain. He said, hell yeah. Probably free up this one too. One more on the front. Looking up good enough. This front corner needs it. I think we're pretty good for that one. All right, dude, let's try to figure out what goes where now. So we got this guy. We got this guy. welcome to the channel, everybody. Tonight we're making a pretty cool little jewelry box that'll have 2 drawers and then a lid on the top to get into a 3rd compartment. Stay tuned. We'll be able to finish this one, I think, pretty soon here. We just keep moving. Back lower. Is that it? That is it, dude. Dig it. I got a couple other little blocks to work with here too. If we can get through this tonight, then we can also, this one's got some pretty wild grain on the front. And then this one, I like just because it had a little swirly looking action. But neither are as figured as that. This other one over here. Got some blocks to work with. I had to like cut them up and glue them last night. But I did ask my friend that mills the walnut to see if next time if he's milling, if he could mill me some bigger chunks so that I can make these things out of one piece, possibly. Like it'd be nice to make big old bandsaw boxes out of one piece of wood. Okay, what am I missing here? I'm missing missing this, dude. This is mid. You carved swords, dude? That's sick. I've thought about that. I've watched videos on dudes making swords, and it looks like there's a lot of different ways too. Dude, send me the photos of the swords to my Facebook, Cobb Mountain Woodwork. I would love to check that out. This needs to get. So yeah, so this will get glued and clamped back together. And it'll have 2 drawers. Uh-oh. Okay, yeah, so that glue wasn't totally dried. Thank you, that'd be sick. I'll check that out. If you can carve swords, you can make these boxes, bro, for sure. This is gonna be cool. I can feel it. I'll throw on my respirator. I'm just gonna sand down a little bit while we wait for this other piece to dry. It only needs a couple of minutes. You want to be careful not to sand too much on the outside of the drawers because you don't want them to end up being loose. You know? Which one is this? Is this mid? No, that's lower. Yeah, that's cool, dude. Little 2-tone action. We do have a major gluing to do here still to get this all back together. I was brainstorming with a friend earlier, and this is the idea that came out of that. I was just gonna do the top, not have a lid. The top would just be a scoop that you could like drop your keys in. And he was like, "Why don't you make it so it has a lid?" So here we are. All right, guys. Dude, what was the front? Oh yeah, there we go. There's the rough draft. We still got a lot of gluing to go, but what do you guys think? Drawer, lid. There's actually some figure to this walnut too. That's not like a saw mark. That's figuring in the wood. It's all good. I'll check them out when this is over, dude. I love to see other people's work, man. I spend a good part of my free time just like watching other woodworkers on YouTube and TikTok and stuff because I love it. Who got there? We got Roberto. What's up? Welcome, dude. All right, so this. Let's go. We can take the drawers out. I'm wondering if I'd be better off just. I'm thinking I'd be better off to like do something like, you know, like glue these, wait till the glue hardens, and then glue those instead of trying to glue it all at once. I think that's what I'm gonna do. That's what I'm gonna do, man. Yo, and then it ends up being like two-tone on the side. Very cool, bud. Let's do it, man. Which one is this? Medium? That'll work. That was the front, right? Yeah. We are definitely going to clamp the heck out of that, dude. Clamps all the way around on this one. What are you carving with? Are you like power carving or are you like hand carving? Dude, that's sick. I definitely need to check those out. Ooh. Gonna have a little bit of maybe planing to do on that in the back. Maybe I can just, it's not that much, maybe I can just sand it. Did you do a video of hand carving the swords with the axes, dude? Because I would watch that for sure. I would absolutely watch that. We're gonna let this glue harden before we glue the other one on, just because I didn't want to fuck it up, dude. Well, you know what? While we're waiting for that to dry, we can cut another box. This is a cool looking scrap, dude. It's kind of like a leaf. I'll throw that in the pile of scrap that I saved forever and then burn after I look at it a bajillion times. Hey, check out this piece of scrap, guys. So this is a piece of scrap that was just like kind of sitting on my bench, and I couldn't like really do a lot with it because it has this hole in it, and this hole I think goes super deep. But I was really stoked about how cool this piece of wood looks. So I like sanded it down and put some finish on it last night, and it's just gonna like sit on my desk, I think, and just look badass. You know, there's like so much going on with this one little chunk of wood. Incredible, dude. You guys are like, oh no, he's tripping out on the wood again, dude. Glue's getting into it. So while we wait for that to dry, let's cut a little bandsaw box right here, huh? I think you should record it, dude. Because I would definitely, I think most people would want to see someone carve a wooden sword with an axe, dude. You know what I mean? Like, people would watch that. That's dope. I'm going to get some safety gear on. Go over to the bandsaw. I'm going to switch you guys to bandsaw view. But real quick, I'm just going to straighten out the bottom with the chop saw. Beautiful wood, dude.
to mark this. So I remember. I definitely screwed that up. But I think I am able to fix it. So that's my specialty, dude. Yo, look at this bird's eye. That's insane. All right, guys, I'm gonna switch you back over to the old workbench view. So I kind of choked doing the cutout for the drawer. So I realized I had gone too far. How does that go? I realized I had gone too far this way to make that turn. So I backed it out. Oh yeah, there you go. I'd gone too far this way to complete the turn without cutting out here. So I backed it out, cut the bottom off, and then came back in to get that shape. So I'm going to glue this back on here. And then this will be our drawer. And it'll be hella dope, dude. Yeah, that's going to be very, 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 very nice piece, guys. And I saved this little
cut piece because it has that bird's eye there. Just some incredible walnut that I managed to score off Richard, dude. Thank you, Richard, if you're tuning in tonight, man. This walnut is fantastic, dude. If not, I'll just tell you next time I see you. So let's get to fixing this up. Yeah. So I'm going to glue it. Just like that. Okay. Guys, if you're doing stuff and you make mistakes, don't try not to stress out too much about it, man. It's part of the process. You're gonna make mistakes, you know. And most of the time you can fix them. So don't sweat mistakes, dude. Everybody makes the mistakes. Oh no, dude. No, not like that, my guy. There we go. You know what a good way to never make a mistake is, dude? Never do anything. So, if you never do anything, then you're not going to make mistakes. Except for that huge mistake of never doing anything. Yeah. Fucking dope, dude. I'd say that's good grain for a drawer front, man. That is fantastic, dude. Incredible. Oh, that's the drinking game for my channel, guys. Every time I trip out on the grain, do a shot. Hi. Hello, welcome. Thanks for chiming in. We are just going to, you don't have to clamp these drawers super hard, dude, but you definitely don't want them going anywhere, so I like to throw a little clamp on them. away. Now we can put together the beast box. Welcome everybody. If you're just now tuning in, we are building a 3-compartment bandsaw box and a separate one drawer bandsaw box out of some super figured walnut that's going to look amazing. So we're pretty far along in the process on this box. Just doing the final glue ups, and then we're going to sand it down. So this will go on this one, right? This goes on top. This goes right there. And this will go right there. That'll be our box. How's that look on the camera? That doesn't look too bad. Oh yeah, we still got to put drawer pulls on it. That'll be a nice little box, dude. But now it's time to glue this box. Let's get these drawers out of the way. We glue this one back onto this one. If you remember, this started off as a big chunk of wood at the beginning of the show. And we've been chopping it down, and now we're gluing it back together. And then it's sanding time. Everybody's favorite time. I'm running out of medium glue. Need to order some more, dude. That's all she wrote for the medium, huh? I have to fill it in with some thick over here. Uh-oh. Running out of thick too. I think I've been leaning a little too heavy on the old CA glue, guys. I'm getting low. Clamping. I think we're gonna have a pretty nice one here, guys. There. Something happened. Clamp it down pretty good. let that do its thing over there. That was the drawing, and I'd say we were pretty accurate to the drawing. Now let's glue this. Glue, 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 glue. No, fool, you are not going at that direction. You're going at this direction. Dang, dude, dang. Dude, that was super sloppy. Are you kidding me, bro? Let's get this one back on. Yeah. Holy smokes, guy. Oh, now that one comes off. This is like a clown act, bro. There we go. All right, we're good. We're good. Guys, I gotta go use the restroom real quick. I will be right back. This is the perfect time where if you haven't subscribed, go ahead and do it now. I'll be right back. And we'll finish that box up. All right, guys, I am back. My dog is okay. I think he did just like try to eat a toad, and the toad like released the toxin on him, and then he regretted it. This should be workable by now. Let's get the clamp off this. Yeah, dude. I dig it, man. I dig it. We got some sanding to do, guys. But, yeah, that is freaking cool. That was a good idea. Where was the one big part that I had? That. I could just sand that. Guys, I'm gonna head over to the belt sander, but I can actually move you to the belt sander, so you can hang out with me over there.
Come on. All right, guys, I'm going to move you back over to old workbench view. And we're going to get in there with the orbital sander. So anyway, before I get into it with the orbital sander, here's the drawing. And there's the box. So I think we did okay, guys. Mistakes were made, we fixed them. We had a good time. We had a great box. It seems crazy to be using 50, but there's a couple spots I want to hit with this 50 grit, dude. I got my little sanding board, dude. Why do I use this board to sand with? I don't know. I like to. There's some spots I want to hit with this thin CA glue to kind of stabilize some cracks like this big one on the bottom. Let that sit for a second. Or you know what? We have this. Crazy. We're going to fill in this crack with a little bit of sawdust and then some glue. And we're going to do that to a couple cracks on that one too. I just can't. I can't accept this as it is. I don't like the look of this seam right here either. So let's see if we can get a little sawdust in there. Pretty cool how it does that, huh?
I think I might have went a little too crazy with it right there. We'll see. One tiny little spot right there. Where is it? It's right there. Might have went a little too crazy with it on that one, folks. We'll see. We will see. Dang, I really super glued the crap out of my hand right there, though. Whew.
Let's see what happens. Hey.
Welcome, everybody that just popped in. I see a bunch of people just came in. Welcome to the shop. Hope you have a good time. Feel free to hit that subscribe button. Thank you.
Sometimes you just gotta take it to the belt sander, I guess. Oh wait, where was the... Yeah, we gotta hit that first.
Hey Mag, hello. Welcome. Fred, hello, sir. Welcome. Building this jewelry box tonight. For anybody just tuning in, it's gonna have a couple drawers. It's gonna have a little lid on top, so I guess I shouldn't have rounded over the top, huh? I should round over this as well. But yeah, so it'll have a couple drawers and a little top piece. I'm definitely going to round that over now that I look at it.
more.
So this one needs to get sanded down to fit in there. But you can see it's got crazy grain on this one. It's gonna have a nice big drawer. Yeah, you know what? Let me hit that with the belt sander real quick, dudes. 1 second. Welcome everybody to the channel. We're 2.5 hours in the old after work chilling in the shop stream. We started on this tonight. It's got a nice little pocket up there, 2 drawers, and this was all one big block of wood when we started, so the grain goes through everything. This is just some fucking insane grain, dude, on this one. We started this one tonight too. I'm gonna take this drawer to the belt sander right here real fast, guys. And just get it to fit in the box. What's going on? There it is. So this will be the other one. I'm still going to glue the back on this one. Very nice walnut. Dude, there's like a chatoyance in this grain that, I don't know if you can see it on the camera, that like shoots all the way through the door. Nuts, dude. Nuts, bro. Dude, pretty good looking box, man. If you guys are having a good time and enjoying hanging out in the shop building, hit that subscribe button, dude. Help me out. Try to grow this channel. Thank you. Whew. I like it, dude. That is a nice design.
I'm gonna set this one down to dry, guys. Dude, loving the grain on the front of that drawer. Let me put a little water on that so you guys can see what I'm talking about. There you go. Now you can see what I'm talking about. It's almost like a hologram, dude. Anyway, that'll be a nice drawer. I think that'll look good. Well, I think it's time that we... First, I'm going to get this off my board here. Welcome, everybody. Now it's time to go to 120 grain. Or grit, excuse me, 120 grit.
folks. I gotta go to bed. It's almost 9 o'clock. Been in here for 3 hours. Anyways, tomorrow we'll finish this one up. Still have a couple more grits of sandpaper to go through, and then we have to get some drawer pulls on this, and then I might put a little pull on top of that. And then we still have this one to finish, and we still have these 2 blocks that we glued up to make another couple boxes with. But I am stoked with how this one's turning out. It is taking me a little bit longer than I anticipated. I anticipated this taking about 2 hours. We are now almost 3 hours into it. But overall, I think it looks great. It was a killer design. I want to give a shout out to the homie Jared. He's been watching the stream, and he's seen me talking about how I need more clamps. So when I ran into him today, he gave me a couple clamps for Christmas. So Jared, you're the man, dude. Thank you. Appreciate the clamps. I put them to good use today. So heck yeah, man. That was very cool of you, dude. What else is going on? What else is going on before I get off here? Oh, I finally sold one of the boxes on Etsy the other day, so the Etsy's starting to work. That's cool. If you guys want to go check out my Etsy, it's called Mountain Woodworks on Etsy. There's a link in my bio. There's a link to all my socials in the bio. So if you want to hit me up, send me photos of your work, things you're working on, to Cobb Mountain Woodworks on Facebook or Instagram or TikTok. I'm on all of those. Of course, the Etsy page to buy my work, and I appreciate you guys, man. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see y'all tomorrow night. We'll finish up this beauty, huh? Thank you. I appreciate you guys being here.